Okay guys, I just couldn't leave it there for the half incomplete video, so welcome to part 4 of a 3-hour job. Right, so we're going to be talking this down, I'm talking wrong again. We're going to be using our gauge now. I had to go and buy one because it got misplaced. How wonderful is that? So yeah, so we're going to be putting this one in positioning, right? I'm going to slot that in between the teeth there. That'll make sure it doesn't go anywhere, and also prevent the cams and things from moving. Up. Get our tool back on there. That's a M12 spline, looks like that. Is 12, right? Yeah, M12. Just always assume, but always confirm. We're going to put that in there. So that slot might be a little bit small, so let's see if we can get the other side in there. I think that's about a good fit there. Get it nice and straight. Sure that I think can now move. Won't throw off our readings, right? See if I can get a better angle here. Yeah, that's gonna hold nicely. Get my lever in there. I'm actually gonna use a bit of a shorter lever on this because the engine beam is making it a little bit challenging for me to get in there. Okay, right, zero our gauge to 0 degrees. It doesn't look like 0 on the camera, but where I'm sitting about here, that's exactly 0 degrees. And then we are going to hold our pulley in place. Now we're going to put it 135 degrees. That's about 30. We're going to have to do a few of these. Let's see if I can do it this way. Because I don't want my angles to go out, so I want to remove this thing. A little bit tricky to film this while doing this. Knocking the camera all about now. That's 60. That's 90. It's quite a lot of force, this. And it slipped. That's about another 15. So now, because I know my center position is set there, I can reset this to where it was. And look, got my readings right back. Very important to get a proper center point, right? I'll just, when I'm done here, I'm just going to rewatch that part of the video to make sure I did indeed get it right. Because if it's wrong, I need to correct it. Okay, and that's another 15 degrees. And there we go. 135 degrees. A little bit of elbow grease required there, but it's good. Right, so that's for the intake cam. I'm going to do the same for the exhaust now. A little bit tricky filming this, so I'm just going to pause quickly while I do that. Okay, so with that, we have now completed the setup of the timing belt. Now we're going to start with the reassembly. I'll show you guys how all the stuff sort of goes back into place. It's just better to just do it as one consecutive video. Okay, right, so we're going to get our cam cap on this side. Make sure there's no oil there. There's my spare cloth. No oil there. We don't want any of that on our gears. Get that in there. Okay, and on this side, make sure there's no oil. Any dirt or debris can be quite dangerous here, so you've got to make sure it is in properly. Right. Making sure that all the holes are indeed where they need to be. And then just sliding that guy in place. There we go. Now, interesting thing, when you got to take this one off, it's a bit tricky. So what I used, because you don't want to put sharp edges there because you're running with an oil seal, I used a box knife or carpet cutter, and I just gently tapped in the edge there. Just like, now you don't want to push in because remember you've got that O-ring running there. You just create a small gap on the side there, on the side here, to lever it off so you can get the proper stuff inside. Then we're going to have our small little bolts here. These guys, I believe, I'll talk to 9 newtons. Let me just go double check my torque specs, and then I shall update you guys on that in a moment. Let me just pause here quickly. Okay, so according to the manual, these are 8 newtons and 45 degrees, but that's quite little. So I'm just going to add a little bit of dab of Loctite on there, because I don't want these things flying off. Let me do that quickly, then I'll carry on after that. It's just as I'm tightening this, I just want to maybe focus on the tightening pattern that I'm using. Using the star pattern, same as the wheel. Always fastening the opposite end. That's to ensure that it pulls the seal in properly, because keep in mind you've got that seal at the back there. And you don't want the oil leaking out all over these cams, because if oil gets on this thing, it's going to tear it apart. So we've got to take every single precaution there is to ensure that no oil gets out of here. Sorry, the focus is a bit bad. Don't have one of those fancy cameras, I'm just using the cell phone ones. Right, so that's about good. And hold that down nicely. Now notice how you don't have anything to really hold it down at the moment. So you don't really want to put a lot of force on these. Just want to hold that tight. You don't really need to torque these because the torque spec is so low that you really just want to make it firm. That's why we're adding the Loctite on there as well. It just ensures that you don't have any degrading or coming loose of anything. I mean that there's about 8 newtons and 45. Just take it another 15 degrees just to ensure everything's firm. The 45 is about a quarter turn, so it's really easy to say. Okay, so that's the one side done. This guy's got to be 20 newton meters. So we're going to set that with our lovely little torque wrench to go to 20 newton meters. It's 28. That's 20 newton meters right there. Also, I think I'm just going to give it like a little dab of, now this is not essential, this is what I'm doing to ensure that the driver of this vehicle gets top-notch quality and he can drive it without real concern or anything really coming apart. So he can take it to the track and he can hit it, and you won't have to worry about any reliability or anything like that. Also, he's a good friend of mine, one of the first guys I met when I moved to the city, so it's relatively important, you know, that you do a good job. You know, you've got to take care of your friends. Okay, that's on firmly, and holding that on there, we're going to torque down this gear now. Now, do take note the direction of this, because I know with some of the other VWs, like the Golf 7Rs, or 7.5Rs, or whatever they call them these days, I believe that these ones loosen they loosen clockwise and they fasten counterclockwise, but that is relevant to what we are doing today. We're not going to be spending any time on that. Okay, getting our torque wrench again. So you see how much you use this tool to actually hold down. Oh, that's the torques, man. What am I doing? I need a 55 for that guy. We can put our spline away. I don't think we're going to be needing that again. So yeah, notice how much we actually use these. See, now it's firm there. Now I hold it in place here. And I just torque that to 20. Here we go. See how little 20 is? Just that little bit. That's why I'm adding Loctite, because I don't trust that. It's a bit loose, for my opinion. But that's what the manual says, RFM. You've got to do that stuff. So that's 20, torqued down and locked. We have our pulleys on. We torque that to 50 newtons. 135 degrees, 50 newtons, 135 degrees. Cover on, 8 newton meters, angled at 45. 20 newton meters. This one is 45. Let's just double check our torque specs, because I'll be doing a lot of talking and I don't know if I ended up confusing myself, so I need to make sure that everything is a-okay. Rather check things 100 times than not check things and you got to end up rebuilding a guy's engine. So some of the more experienced mechanics that are watching this, there's probably a lot of stuff that I'm doing that's completely unnecessary in your eyes, which is fine, each to their own. But I just like to do things as precise as humanly possible. That way I know. I'm pretty sure I torqued that to 40 newtons instead of 45. The manual says 45. Yeah, 45. Right there, cool. And we're going to check our crank tensioner setting there. That should be 25 Newton meters using the fancy special tool. So if you got the tool, use it, you know. RFM, do what the manual says. Oh, that's 13. Right, I don't need the 16 on that. Let's grab my 13 quickly. Let's see where I put it now. Okay, found my 13. Checking torque spec. See, we had a little bit of slack there. Again, check that, make sure it's fine. Timing is absolutely spot on to where it should be. Only thing is I just got that little bit of it wrong. But this is why you can't really put on timing marks and then kind of try and work from there. It just doesn't add up. You need the proper tools for this. You need the proper timing sets, the proper crank gear tools, and all of those lovely things. Right, so that is the camshaft pulley assembly complete. This is now the timing is done. We have cycled the engine numerous times. We've checked everything. We've torqued everything down to proper spec, and we've ensured. So this is now as solid as can be. Agent quality, and now you know how to do it as well. I'm kind of big on information. I don't like it when people suppress information and people have to try and figure things out on their own. So yeah, we're going to start with the rest of the assembly. So we're first going to get this cover in here, and we're going to get the crank pulley on. Then we'll take it from there. So I'm just going to raise up the engine a bit. If you guys ever get a chance, get one of these beams. They are fantastic. They make life so much easier, especially on these timing jobs. Alright, so we're going to get it up to the height it's supposed to be, more or less. Get all this off the engine bay. It's raining, it's starting to rain again. Okay, so let's get our cover back in there. Now you might notice that I had an 18 bolt there. That's the one for the cam box. I just need to raise this body up again because I put it down overnight. I don't like it when cars stand on their jacks overnight. So no, that one doesn't go there, that one goes somewhere else. I will sort that out now. So basically here is the one 18 bolt that goes in there, and you can have 3 of them on the casing. So let me get that cover in quickly, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so adding on the bolts here, we got one over there. So I'll put these 2 in first, get that it's catch nice threads, right, and then I'll get the one that's down here. So one there, just about there, top of the alternator. I'm quickly going to install that. After you've done that, remember to replace this bolt here. It goes at the back of the engine. This is where your crankshaft will slot in. So you won't be able to see it from the top here, but from the bottom you should be able to get that one in. And then we tighten the alternator bolt, which is the one over there, followed by the coolant fastener, coolant hose fastener right over there, and followed by the 5 cover bolts over here. I must get that one in quickly. Yeah, that's all 5 of them in. And then replace your drive belt tensioner. Notice we have the Allen key there to hold the tension in place. Just use the normal Allen key, nothing too fancy. Okay, it's in. Let me find the other bolt. And then replace the harmonic dampener. Loosely install the engine mount fasteners. Lift the engine up until you get a bit of lift there. Ensure that these ones are in place and the threads are proper. Make sure that they're not getting hooked or anything. And fasten these down while ensuring your alignment is in line. With engine brakes removed, fasten down the appropriate fasteners on the engine. So the mount is in place. And then torque down to required specifications. And then we replace the coolant reservoir. Remember the plug. And then add that one there, the one at the back there. Ensuring the one at the bottom clips in. Give it a squeeze, squeeze, and your water reservoir is installed. Remember to return the clips. Probably should put the cover back first, but yeah, a little bit of dirt there, and that's fine there. Everything is fine. Okay guys, so that basically does it. That's the long and the short of it. Obviously then put back all the other covers and everything, the pipes and all that. So I'm gonna leave the video there. It's about 18 minutes in. It's getting a bit long. Still gotta put the drive belt on, as well as all that stuff. And yeah, good luck guys. Hope this helps, and then see you guys in the future.